Bonjour et bienvenue. Je m'appelle Herman. My name is Herman. Welcome back to FrenchACPeople.com. Today's lesson will be about the subject pronouns, les pronoms sujets. Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il et elle. Les pronoms sujets, subject pronouns in French. So, what's a subject pronoun? How important is it in the French language? Let's take a look. Tu es italien. Tu es italien. Tu es italien. Nous sommes finlandais. Nous sommes finlandais. Elles sont cambodiennes. Elles sont cambodiennes. Je suis malien. Je suis malien. Each one of these sentences contains a subject pronoun. Tu in the first one, nous in the second sentence, elle in the third sentence, and je in the last sentence. So what is a subject pronoun and what does it do? Well, subject pronouns are pronouns, first of all, in the sense that they replace a noun. So if I say to you, let me change this color to yellow, for example. If I say to you, Herman, which is my name, Herman va bien. Herman is okay. Herman is fine. Herman va bien. I could replace Herman with a subject pronoun. I could say, for example, il va bien. He's going well, he's doing fine, il va bien. So, il as a subject pronoun replaces a noun, in this case, Herman, my name, Herman. So, a subject pronoun is a pronoun, and a pronoun replaces a noun. It stands for a noun. Now, with that being said, let's look at a few characteristics of a subject pronoun. First, they are not optional in French. Subject pronouns in French are not optional. In Spanish, they are. If I say, eres un amigo, you are a friend. Eres un amigo. We have omitted tú, which means you here. The tú is omitted, and the sentence is perfectly fine. Eres un amigo. However, in French, you just can say, es un ami. That won't work in French. You need to have the subject pronoun tu. Tu es un ami, you are a friend. So keep this in mind for those of you who are Spanish speakers or Italian speakers. In French, you need to have a subject pronoun in the sentence. It's not optional. Now, second characteristics, subject pronouns in French are, or at least in almost all languages that I know of, are responsible for the action of the verb. So by that I mean the subject pronoun will be the thing or the person doing the action implied by the verb. So if I say, let me erase this here. If I say, for example, je vais à l'école, I vais, I am going, or I go à l'école, to school. If I say je vais à l'école, I here, je, is the person responsible or the person doing the action of going to school. That's why we said that subject pronouns are responsible for the action, for the verb occurring in the sentence. So quite important to remember. Next, subject pronouns are usually linked, and I should say actually are almost always linked to a verb with which they must agree in number and gender. So wherever you will see a subject pronoun, you will also see a verb. I don't quite remember ever seeing a French subject pronoun like il just standing by itself. Not quite. You will usually have a verb that will follow. So, il est, he is, such and such. Il mange, he's eating, or he eats. Nous sommes, we are, etc. So, you will usually have a verb attached to a subject pronoun. That's why we say that subject pronouns will usually be linked to a verb. And I will actually say are always linked to a verb. And the verb will agree with the subject pronoun. Just like you can say in English, I is. They don't match, right? the I will go with a different verb. You will not be able to say in French, je ai, like I is. It's impossible. You need to find the right form of the verb that will apply to je. That will be assigned to je. So, je suis, I am. Il est, he is, etc., etc. So, subject pronouns and verbs should agree. This is a very important rule, and they should agree in number and gender. We see more about the topic of number and gender in a subsequent lesson, so stay tuned for that one. Next, subject pronouns will have a gender and a number. In French, this is really, really important to keep in mind. The notion of gender and number tends to be quite complex or convoluted. No, let's not use such a convoluted term. Tend to be quite difficult for most French learners, because not every language in the world has a gender or a number. In French, you do have to always remember that whatever word that you use may be feminine or masculine or singular or plural. So subject pronouns as well will have a gender and a number. When you say je, even je, which means I, je will have a gender. If I say je suis belle, I am beautiful, you will say that the je here is feminine, because belle, which is the adjective attached to je, is in the feminine form. So the je should also be feminine. When I say je suis beau, I am handsome, je suis beau, the je in this case will be in the masculine form. So in French, we have the notions of gender and number for subject pronouns. Next, in order to find the subject pronoun in a sentence, simply ask qui, which means who, or quoi, which means what. So when I say je vais au marché, I go to the market, je vais au marché. In order to find who is responsible for the action of going to the market, meaning I, you will say qui va au marché? Who is going to the market? Qui? When I say la table brûle, the table is burning, la table brûle. Hopefully your table is not burning, it's okay. When I say la table brûle, elle brûle, it is burning, elle brûle. We have replaced la table with elle, which is a subject pronoun, elle brûle. In order to find what is burning, we will say qu'est-ce qui brûle? Qu'est-ce qui brûle? Le k that you hear is simply quoi. So to find the subject pronoun in French, you need to ask the question qui or quoi. All right? If you have more questions about that, simply go to the French lab and I will be happy to help. And finally, subject pronouns in French could be anything: persons, things, objects, a monster, a table, etc. In the previous slide, you've seen that we said la table, elle. Elle replaced la table. And la table is a thing, and yet it is replaced by elle, which literally in English means she. But elle will replace la table, which is a thing. So in French, a subject pronoun can replace anything, can be anything: persons, things, objects, monsters, etc., etc. Now, we have here a list of subject pronouns, those that we use in French: je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous. Hey, Herman, careful here. I've used you instead of vous. Let me correct this. So, vous, it should be vous and not you. Some kind of Franglish. Stay focused. So, je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, and elle. These are the subject pronouns in French. Again, je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, elle. And you have the English translations to the right of each subject pronoun. What can we say about those subject pronouns individually? Well, je, tu, il, elle, and on are considered singular. That's why they are here in this column on the left. They are considered singular. Okay, so just one person, no more than one person. Now, the polite form vous, because vous means you. It could also mean you, but for a singular person. It's a polite form of you. So vous is singular at times whenever you use it in the polite form. It's a polite form of address. And we will say a little more about vous in a future lesson. Now, those pronouns that you see here to the right, nous, vous, il, and elle, are considered plural. Okay, that means two persons or more. And sometimes on, even on, that two-letter subject pronoun that you see here, on is in some cases considered plural. When I tend to say to my kids sometimes, hey, on y va, on y va, let's go, hey, we should leave, on y va. In that case, the on here refers to a plural group, 2, 3, 4 members, etc. So on y va. The on here, hey, let's go. Hey guys, let's go. So on could also refer to a plural, a number of people, a group of people, more than one. That's what I mean by that. All right. So what else can we say about subject pronouns? Oh yeah. I do have a quiz for you at the end of each lesson. This is about using what you've learned, not just absorbing without applying your knowledge. So in this quiz, this is a quiz, and from the context here, I would like you to guess the right subject pronoun to use. So imagine a soccer coach talking to his team, right? A soccer coach talking to his team. What subject pronoun do you think the coach will be using to address his team? And I give you here the answer, just to help you get started. He or she will say vous. Vous meaning you. You as a group. Hey guys, you should play harder, right? Vous devez jouer plus durement. All right. So vous here will be the subject pronoun used by the coach. Now, what about talking to a friend? What subject pronoun would you use when talking to a friend? Which one would you use? You probably use you. But what kind of you would you use? In French, we have different kinds of you. So write it down here in this column. When talking about Mary, if you are referring to Mary, you are speaking to someone about Mary. Which subject pronoun would you use to refer to Mary? Write it down here. When my students are addressing me, okay, my students, I should say, when my students are addressing me, as me, friend teacher, how would they address me? Which subject pronoun would they use to address me? Right, so write it down. So this is a very straightforward, simple activity which will be important for you to practice your knowledge on the topic of subject pronouns. So this will be the end of our lesson. I hope you found it useful. Merci et à très bientôt. And again, I will find you, or you could reach me in the French lab, and I will be happy to help you if you have any questions or comments. Merci et à très bientôt. Au revoir. Bye.